Hello, everybody. Happy Easter. This is Pastor Don from Mill Creek Baptist Church. And this week, I'm going to be sharing a thought each day to help us prepare to be ready to celebrate Easter this next Sunday. Yesterday, we talked about Palm Sunday. Jesus had ridden into Jerusalem on the back of the donkey. People had been waving palm branches, which symbolized victory and triumph on Jesus' path as he rode into the city. The people welcomed him, crying out, "Hosanna, Hosanna," which literally means, "Save me, save me." It was a big day for humanity. They'd waited a long time for this new covenant that God had promised his people, and it was about to take effect. Jesus continued his journey towards the cross, and several significant events took place that day that were to reveal his authority and his mission. Those who had witnessed Jesus' miraculous teachings that day sang praises to him as the authorities looked on. They weren't happy, and they began to plot ways to get rid of him. Here are some of the things that happened that day. While walking from Bethany to Jerusalem, Jesus noticed a fig tree that was producing no fruit. And so he immediately cursed the tree because it wasn't doing what it was created to do. And the fig tree immediately withered. The disciples noticed that it had withered the next day when they passed by. Jesus used that opportunity to teach his disciples that if they had enough faith, they could tell a fig tree to wither and it would happen, or they could tell mountains to move and they would jump. Another time, Jesus entered the temple and saw the people had turned it into a marketplace. He wasn't excited about that. He went ballistic and started throwing things and cleaning out the room, insisting that the temple was to be a house of prayer. After he cleared out the temple, religious leaders started asking questions, trying to trick him. They asked what authority he had to do this, and he replied by asking them a question. What authority did John the Baptist have? And when they asked Jesus whether it was right to pay Roman taxes, he looked them in the eye and said, "Give unto Caesar that which belongs to Caesar, and to God that which is God's." Then the Pharisees asked for the greatest commandment. They thought surely they had him on this one. Jesus said, "Love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and with all your mind." And the second greatest was to love your neighbor as yourself. So in between these discussions and debates and events, Jesus taught the people, asking if they knew whose son the Messiah really was, warning them that there would be many, many, many corrupt teachers running around. In his teaching, Jesus used parables. He told the parable about the two sons, about evil farm tenants, and about a king who gave a great feast. And after praising a widow for giving all that she had in an offering, Jesus noted his disciples were looking around. And so he began to talk to them about future events because they didn't have a clue what was getting ready to take place. Jesus followed this warning by telling parables about 10 bridesmaids who were waiting for the bridegroom, and about 3 servants showing their master what they did with what they were given. Jesus then told a story about God and about how he'll respond to people during the final judgment. He ended the day by telling the disciples that he would be crucified very soon. These days were very busy, and Jesus knew that he only had a short time to prepare them for the events that were to follow the rest of the week. Join me tomorrow as we take a look at the events that took place on that infamous Tuesday. Hope to see you. God bless.